Okay, let me make sure you can hear me. You can, of course. Fantastic. Fantastic. And I've just realised, in all my excitement, that I completely forgot to share the thing over on Twitter. So just bear with me a second and we'll get going. Excuse me. So, share and tweet. So streaming some FIFA career mode over on YouTube, I should say. And there we go. I'll actually tweet the link of the video this time and not just the channel. Perfect. Brilliant. Great. The hard part done. I say the hard part, it's not even... The only hard part about it is just remembering it. I do have my water as well. Yes, I do. Perfect. Perfect. So, we are back with the second episode of Cloyne United. I apologise, lads, that it took me this long. Oh my god, I cannot express to you what an fucking terrible. I thought I lost the stream there for a second. No, we're still there. Great. But we are back after a very eventful first episode. I was just looking there before I started recording. Look at these results. Losing 4-0 to Brentford, losing 6-1 to Man City, beating Newcastle 4-1 in the League Cup, losing 6-1 to Liverpool in the league, drawing 1-1 with Wolves. That's, you know, a fairly standard result. And even the game we fucking win ends 5-4. Unbelievable. So if you look at the league, we are currently in 17th with a minus 13 goal difference. We've scored 8 and conceded a total of 21. That is ludicrous. This is how the team is looking at the moment. I've kind of just been, you know, even though I obviously haven't streamed in a week, I have been thinking about, like, you know, the direction of the team and where I want it to go eventually. So I will have to shortlist some players eventually, just, you know, kind of keep... I think you always have to be one step ahead when it comes to things like that. I think you always have to have an idea of who you would like to get eventually, and that's what I'm kind of trying to rack up in my head now. Because this first season was always going to be a bit of a pain, especially at the start, while, you know, players are growing and whilst we kind of get used to the team. But listen, we're in it for the long haul. We're in it for the long haul, of course. Easy for me to say. Right, so today what we're going to do, if I just have a quick look at the calendar, we'll start out with this game against Forest. I think I might sim this game against Southampton. I might play... I just burped there, apologies. I might play the highlights of this game against Leeds. Then we're up against United, of course, the team I support in real life. So we'll play that one. I think we'll play Chelsea as well. And maybe then play the highlights of this Brighton game and leave it with Everton, because I do want to get through a good chunk of games today, with, you know, obviously me not streaming for nearly a week. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's go up against the team who Manchester United beat in real life today, Nottingham Forest, at the City Ground. So a good result for United today, which I was very happy with. In terms of the team, don't think we need to make any changes. Ferreira's missing a small bit of fitness, but nothing overly alarming. Ferguson's a bit tired on the bench. That's kind of frustrating because he's the only backup striker we have, but hopefully he'll be alright. Fernandez is knackered. We'll put Kent on the bench because he's a little bit less tired. But other than that, I think we'll just go with what we have. Just making sure the tweet went out. Yes, it did. Perfect. Let me just see if I can find... Right, anyways, enough of the pleasantries. Sorry, I had so much stuff on my phone there that was distracting me. Let's get into it. Let's hope we can get our first away win of the season in the league, and our second win overall. My God, it was such a bad start. And listen, we had some tough games as I give the ball away there. Obviously, Man City, Liverpool and Brentford all in the first 3 Premier League games is ridiculous. absolutely just insane start to the season. But on the bright side, I suppose it means we have those games out of the way. Now, we have to play every team twice, so, whatever. But still, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Here's JJ. Oh, what a start. JJ, the English Ruud van Nistelrooy, on the score sheet yet again. Brilliant finish. Perfect start. 1-0 to Cloyne United. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Apologies if my voice sounds a little bit, if it sounds like there's less energy in my voice today. I've had this fucking tickle in my throat for the best part of 3 weeks, it feels like, at this stage. And it's just, it goes through stages of being somewhat bearable, and there's other times where it's like I can only speak at a certain level before, that little cough starts to appear, which is so frustrating, especially when you have to talk as much as I do. Not just in my personal life, but also in my work life. Obviously, I work in sales, so there's obviously a lot of talking in that. I do the podcast every week. I've tried to start streaming again. Like it's not easy when you have an ongoing pain in your throat. Oh my god. Oh, you see, and this is the big problem with FIFA this year. I think this is a big problem a lot of people are experiencing. We go 1-0 up with our first proper attack of the game, and then instantly they go up the other end and score. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that was a great angle they were about to show there at the replay. Nice work, EA. We're in April, right? So this is always around the time of year where people are starting to look towards next year's game. Or technically this year's game. But I don't think I've ever been so anxious for a FIFA cycle to just end. This year really has been a gap year. To be honest with you, lads, all my big plans for career modes and stuff, I'm halting off for the first version of, not version, what's the word I'm looking for? The first iteration, I suppose, of EAFC, which is what FIFA will be known as next year, because this FIFA 23 has just been absolutely dog shit. Now, FIFA 22 wasn't perfect, but I feel like it was so much more fun. I think it was so much better than the crop of shit we've been given this year. I think I would go as far as to say this is probably my least favourite FIFA that I've ever played. I'm really selling this stream, aren't I? But I did want to get back into the groove of things with streaming. Oh, God. Anyways, 1-1. Not even 20 minutes played. Oh, here's JJ. Oh, my God. I know, the better we make the team, the better we'll be able to play. But I think that's been a big problem with FIFA as well this year. I don't think there's ever been a FIFA game that, has relied on you having a great squad as much as this year's one. If you have a team that's any bit, lacking in certain areas, you may as well just give up. And as I say, I was tempted to do the same thing I did with Turley United, where we started in the Championship, but I was like, no, we'll make it a bit different. We'll put us straight into the Premier League, but with the team that would, have some room to improve. Oh, what a save by Navas! But it's becoming a very hard task at the moment. All right, Schuler is going to whip in the corner. JJ again, good block. It's going to go out for a throw-in, I think, unless Turl can keep it in, which he does. Oh, wasn't the worst ball either. JJ couldn't get there. I've decided as well, I forgot to say this at the start, lads, I've decided to just not have a schedule for FIFA, for streaming, I should say, because as last week went to show, there are certain days that are just, when you work in sales, right, and when you have the hobbies that I have, sometimes you don't know when you're actually going to be able to stream. That's why I had to stop streaming for a bit, because I just didn't have the time. And with this series, I thought this will be a nice way to try and get back on track with it. And then the first week, we got one stream done on the Monday, and here we are the following Sunday, and it's the first one we've done since. Good save by Schmeichel. But that's why I want to get through a good few games today, because I don't want this to be boring and drag on for too long, especially in the first season when we're still developing the team and we don't quite have all the players that we want. You know, earlier I was saying that, excuse me, God, I'm so sorry about that. That, you know, that I have an idea of where I want this team to go, and I still, you know, obviously I stand by that. But it's not just the players that I'm talking about there. It's even just the system that we're playing. We get the corner from there. I think I know. Like, I think eventually I want to switch to a 4-3-3 and play with a cam. Oh, off the line. Porrig nearly getting another goal there. I do remember him scoring against Fulham in the last episode. Oh, Ferreira was onside, but he just couldn't get there. There's Turl. Good block. Oh, it's nearly done me there. That's a brilliant tackle. Brilliant tackle. Only 1 added minute at the end of the half. Can we get one last attack? Oh, the touch was far too heavy there from Turl. And they're going to get another attack here for us. That should have been half-time, ref. That should have been fucking half-time. I'm glad he's missed that. Well, I'm glad he missed anyway, but especially there. Because why did they get another chance to play on there? That's ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Right, 1-1 at half-time. Let's just get on with it. This could be a good start here, though, to the second half. Alex into JJ. Oh, just beats the post. Just beats the post. I don't know why they're showing us this goal line decision from the first half. Like, who cares? Whatever. Whatever. See that thing there that they just had in the left top hand corner where they were showing JJ's stats? In brackets, it still had team name 485, whatever the fuck it was. That's been in the game since last year. How have they still not fixed things like that? Like, this is the frustration we get when we play this fucking game. Oh, go on, JJ, surely. Yes! We're back in front. It's JJ again. Squeezes it in. The English Van Nistelrooy at it again. 2-1 here against Forest. Let's hope we can hold on this time. They're asking us to make a change. Yeah, Ferreira is a bit tired. We'll bring on Afif. Oh, brilliant. 5 goals in 6 league games for JJ. He's really starting to come into his own now. We need to keep getting these wins. Like, the goal this season for me is just to stay up. Like, anything else would be a bonus. Like, I can't see us qualifying for Europe or anything this time round. I just think that's a bit, I think it's a bit too early to be talking about stuff like that. Now, with that said, I do remember in Turley United, you know, we were in the Championship in the first season and we ended up winning the FA Cup. So we technically qualified for the Europa League in the first season. So... Oh, JJ, speak of the devil. Just turned into see I'm on fire. You are indeed, lad. You are indeed. 2 fantastic goals today. Oh, not only did United put Forest to the sword today, so did the English Van Nistelrooy JJ. But I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well too. I'm sure you're happy with the result as well today for Manchester United in this very stadium against this very team, which was great. And hopefully we can hold on here and get a similar result. See, we can't get the clean sheet like United did, but I would happily just take the 3 points. Why do I speak? Every time I say something like that, we end up giving away a stupid fucking either a goal or a foul, and that's what's happened there. Like, I think that is so soft. That is not a penalty. Oh my god. And it's Jimenez, formerly of Wolves, up against Kasper Schmeichel. 2-2. Unbelievable. Was very happy. Bruno, Eriksson and Anthony were superb. They were. I thought Lindelof played really well too. Which is great considering we have absolutely no fucking centre-backs at the moment apart from Lindelof and Maguire. But yeah, no, I thought it was a really good performance. And I was kind of, I was a bit nervous coming into the game just because I was like, we do have a lot of injuries and Forest are at home. Oh god, oh god, oh god. What a save by Schmeichel. What a fucking save by Schmeichel. Not the first time we've ever heard that in the Premier League. Yes, this is the first game of the stream, JJ. It is indeed. But I do... what was I just saying there? Oh yeah, I was a bit, a bit on edge coming into the game. Because, Forest are fighting to stay up. And this is at the time of the season where clubs like that pull off. Like, we saw what Bournemouth did yesterday against Spurs. Dylan Todd! Oh, yes, I've done it! I've scored! 3-2! Get in there! Ah, a captain's goal. My second goal in this career mode. It's 3-2. Well, you can't say the games are boring. I suppose that's the very least I can say about this. Oh, lovely finish. Lovely, lovely finish. Get in there. 3-2. Right, let me finally try and finish what I was trying to say earlier. With all the injuries, I was a bit nervous, and obviously with the circumstances that Forest are in, I thought they'd give us a game. But really, I thought we were a much better team. Like, Forest had one or two chances, but like I feel like we could have won by more. Like, I think we were unlucky to only win 2-0, which is great. But I know Thursday is going to be... Oh, good save by Schmeichel. Thursday is just going to be ridiculous. Obviously, no Bruno on Thursday. Sabitzer looks like he might not be able to play either because he had to pull out today with an injury like 20 minutes before the game started. Obviously Martinez is out for the rest of the season, which is just so heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Varane probably won't be available. Rashford, I know there's talk that he might be there, but I have my doubts. So like it's just going to be so tough. So tough. But listen, we'll see what happens. Just over the bar. I thought a point would have been good, but that was a great team performance, and Spurs and Newcastle lost small buffer. Yeah, no, that was, and that was another reason why we had so much pressure on ourselves as well, is because all the results went our way, Obviously, as you say, Bournemouth beating Tottenham, and then Villa wiping the floor with Newcastle. JJ for the hat-trick! Oh, good save. So like that was a bit of extra pressure with today's game, but thankfully we pulled through. As Porag nearly, he's becoming a really good player for us, and hope he's a permanent signing. Yeah, like my only fear with Sabitzer is that he's had 2 injuries now since we've signed him. That's the only concern I have about him, is that is he a bit injury prone? But as you say, like when he's on form, he's fantastic. Thought that was in. Thought that was in there for a second. Gonna have to make some changes. We'll bring on Chavez. I think that's... Yeah, that's actually the only change I'm going to make. We really don't have a strong bench at the moment. But, like, yeah, no, Sabitzer, when he's on form, as we saw against Sevilla, he's fantastic. But it just makes me wonder, is he a little bit injury prone? But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully he is fit for Thursday, though, as you say. Because he was brilliant in the home leg. And the fact we don't have Bruno, we could do with all the options. Oh, I thought that was in! Oh, I thought that was in. Calabria's a bit tired. We'll take him off the last couple of minutes. Jimenez comes off. Come on, let's try and hold on to the ball. Brilliant header by Bach. Is Alex now on the ball? Oh, fantastic. Madsen. Turl. JJ. Can he finally get his hat-trick? Keylor Navas, just like in real life, having a brilliant performance. I think he was a big reason why Forest only conceded 2 today. He was very, very good. I think if Wayne Hennessy had been in goal, it would have been a different story. Oh, bloody hell, he's making saves left, right and centre now. Excuse me. 4 added minutes here. Funnily enough, there was actually 4 added minutes at the end of the game today as well. So a lot of similarities. Let's just hold on to it. Let's go all the way back to the keeper. Kasper Schmeichel. He can boot it away now himself. We might get another chance here. That's a great ball. Can we win the header? Yes, we can. Okay, that's it now, ref. Yes! We do get our second Premier League win of the season against Nottingham Forest. We were made work for it, but we got there in the end. 2 from JJ, 1 from Turl. 3 points in the bag. Our first 3 points on the road this season. And they were badly needed after the horrid start we had. It's great to see us stringing together a few results now. It brings us up to 7 points on the table, and we jump up to 11th. But still, early days, only 6 games played. But still, that's good. That's good. Right, we've got some emails here. We've got the Scout reports available. So let's have a look. So in Ireland, Mike Riley. Not great value. It looks decent. We'll sign him up and just see. Just to take a more in-depth look at him. No, and no. Who is on international duty? Paulinho with Portugal, Schmeichel with Denmark, and Turl, Ring, and Cullen all with Ireland. Canada, Cody Scott. Now that's a very decent looking player, and he's 17 as well, so we could call him up straight away. Nice one. Canada looking quite decent at the moment. And Joseph Adams looks pretty good too. We'll sign him up as well. Lovely stuff. And last but not least, the Netherlands. Well, maybe they are least, because they don't have anybody worth looking at. Oh, never mind. Let me take that back. Emile de Vries, or de Vries. Very... is a football ability, not his physical appearance. But let's see. Oh, lad. 67 rated at 17. Oh my god, he looks fantastic. Let's put him on a development plan. That's absolutely brilliant. Joseph Adams. Looks like a decent player as well. Mike Riley, he's definitely in the wrong position. Gormley actually looks pretty good. Scott, centre forward, but obviously we don't play with one, but we'll convert him to a cam and see what happens there. But yeah, some very good options there. Joseph Adams also looks pretty good. No need to sign a higher rated keeper in the future. Well, I mean, it's something I still probably will have to do just because of Schmeichel's age, but we do have a youth academy player who we can... I think what I might do, I might call him up and loan him out. To be honest, I think that's what I might do. Because he's 17 already. I think I'm going to promote him and put him up on for loan. Let's actually have a look as well here. Riley. Sorry, that's what I was supposed to do, is look at his position. Okay, he's not a centre mid anyway. He's not a defender. We'll make him... we'll go cam, just because it'll increase more of his stats and see what, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's really good to see that we've got a very good young goalkeeper. Obviously, we've got Alonso, who is a good backup. But yeah, showing great potential, Emile de Vries. Let's loan him out. That's a very, very good option off the bench. Or very good option off the bench. It's a very good option to have as a backup, I should say. For the goal. And listen, he might become the number one eventually. But that's why I think it's best to loan him out. I think with goalkeepers that young and that low rated, with that potential, it's best to just loan them out. But anyways, we have Southampton here up next. I did say I was going to sim this one. Please, please, please get a good result. Yes! Get in! Ferreira and Schuler. 2-1. Still no clean sheet this season. Excuse me. Oh my god. Nearly fucking died there. But a very, very good result. And De Vries is delighted to be called up. We're delighted to have you in the team, lad. And we already get a loan offer for him. And it's a 2-year loan offer from Valladolid. Or Valladolid, however you say it. I'm going to accept that. I think it's important for him to go out on loan and get some minutes. Brilliant. Brilliant. So we have Leeds up next. And he will be getting loaned out. So in January, De Vrij, I'm just going to call him De Vrij because it's just easier to say. He will be going out on loan to Spain, which is a very good move for him. So we have Leeds up next. I'm going to play the highlights of this one. Yeah, let's just leave the team the way it is. I'm going to play all highlights. I was torn there between playing attack only or just playing all the highlights, but we'll play all the highlights. And I can almost guarantee you right now that means Leeds will have at least one penalty. So Kasper Schmeichel obviously will be coming up against his old club here. Here we go. What do you think of Arsenal 2 weeks in a row losing a 2-goal lead? I'm getting worried, JJ, to be honest with you. Obviously, listen, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I am a Manchester United fan, as are you. And the last thing we want is Man City not only doing a treble, but winning a third Premier League title in a row. And Arsenal are making it very difficult for themselves now. Like, listen, at Anfield, it's not a great result, but listen, Liverpool, as much as I don't like them, one bit of credit I will give them is that you can never really count them out at Anfield. Like, you're 2-0 down, you do know that they have a chance of getting back into it, and in the end they were unlucky not to win it. But I can kind of forgive that happening at Anfield, you know, because they've got the quality players that can do it, even if the season isn't going amazing for them. But at West Ham, when you're 2-0 up, with the squad Arsenal have, I think you really should be putting that game to bed. Obviously, City now only 4 points behind with the game in hand. Actually, you know, Arsenal, I think they'll be feeling the pressure now a bit. Like, you know, can they maintain? I was going to say maintain their form. Their form at the moment isn't great, but can they? Oh, I thought that was going to go in for a second. Can they get back to the form that had everyone thinking they were going to win the league? You know, that's the big question now. Is that something they're going to be able to do? I really don't. Oh my God, Leeds are clean through here. That's going to be a penalty. Somehow he hasn't been sent off. At least I don't think he has. Nope. But we've given away a penalty, and we're fucking 1-0 down. Oh my God! I knew it. I told you they'd get a penalty. I didn't think I would physically give it away myself, but and they're giving Leeds a counter-attack as well. But yeah, very poor from Arsenal. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. And it could cost them in the long run, because Man City are in brilliant form at the moment. Very, very good form. And it's very hard to look at any other team and think, yeah, they've got a chance at stopping the... Oh my God. Well, looks like we're going to lose this one. Ball across to Alex here. That's a very good ball as well. Alex! Oh my God. Oh my God. What a terrible effort. And we lose to Leeds United. Oh, frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. But look, whatever. Anyways, right, I can finally talk properly now. Arsenal will be kicking themselves. They really will be. And let's have a look at their next few fixtures, Arsenal, because I'm not too sure what they are. We'll have a look at the run-in for both teams, actually. Oopsie daisy, I nearly knocked over my water. So let me just see what the emails are here. Scott, position change option. So to attacking midfielder, he stays at a 63 rating, but we'll put him on another development drill. So Arsenal's next few games, they have got... Where the fuck? Oh, here we go. So they have Southampton up next. Then they've got Man City. I forgot they had to play each other again at the Etihad. That'll be a huge game. Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Forest and Wolves. And if you have a look at Man City's run-in, which I would imagine is a bit easier, they've got Brighton, Arsenal obviously, Fulham, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Chelsea and Brentford. And both teams got tough enough run-ins. So it will be very interesting to see what happens in the final 8 or so games. But they will be nervous, though, Arsenal. They'll be very, very nervous. And I don't blame them for being nervous because, as I say, Man City just feel like they're unstoppable at the moment. Right, let's get back to it. And up next, we are playing the team I support in real life, Manchester United, at home. We're still in 11th. United are actually having a worse season than we're having. United, after 8 games, are in the relegation zone. They've only won 1, drawn 3 and lost 4. What the fuck? That's crazy. I'm nearly tempted to give them the win. Okay, maybe not, but let's see what team they're putting out at the moment. Perrin in goal, so no David De Gea. Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez and Luke Shaw at the back. Casemiro and Sabitzer in midfield. Bruno as the number 10. Rashford and Anthony out wide and Morata up front. Very, very interesting. We're going to go with our full team. Didn't recognise the channel with the name. Yep, straight out of Cloyne 2.0, same as the podcast name. I changed that there about 3 or 4 months ago. And it just felt appropriate with the fact that we've got the podcast going. And I had all the logos and stuff made, so that's where that comes from. Anyways, can we get a result here against United? It's always weird playing against the team you support in real life in FIFA. It's always very, very strange. But God, I don't know how United are struggling so much. Like, they haven't made too many changes to real life. I may actually just have a quick look. Apologies, I know I get annoyed when people pause in the middle of a game as well. But I want to have a quick look at their bench. So Martial, Eriksen, Maguire, Thuram, Sancho, Varane, and Kolar. That's a very, very weird team, to be honest. A weird bench, I should say. I do vaguely remember David De Gea actually leaving in the last episode. I do have a vague memory of it, but I can't remember where he went. Gonna have to check that after this game. Oh, JJ. You've done well there. Is Ferreira. Great ball to JJ. Oh, good save. JJ again. Oh, Perrin with the good save. My other United IRL is struggling. Oxford United are 1 place above the relegation zone and hanging on by better goal difference. Oof. Oh, Porrig nearly scored against United there. I will touch on the Oxford thing there in just a second. Let me just finish this attack. Here's Paulinho. Turl. No, can't get there. That sucks to hear that, JJ. You've actually made me have a little bit of a soft spot for Oxford. And eventually, in honour of your support of Oxford, I do want to do a career mode with them on here. Because I have been thinking, oh, Rashford with the strike, Schmeichel with the save. I have been wanting to do a proper road to glory, like, you know, from the lower leagues all the way up to the Champions League. And Oxford are a team that are very high up that list. So that would be quite cool. And I think I'd still do this. I think I'd still create the players and put them in there. I think that would be something that would be quite cool. It's United keep the attack going here, but we get the goal kick. But yeah, no, it's a shame to hear that they're struggling in real life. Like, normally around this time of the season, I'd be like looking a lot at the championship table and stuff, but I actually this season I just haven't really. I hear things like I know Borough are doing really well, and I know Burnley have already secured promotion. But like I haven't looked at the Championship and the lower leagues as much as I normally do. United are starting to grow into this game now. Dalot, who did score in real life today, puts it just wide there. Oof, Calabria. Loses out to Marcus Rashford. Oh, Bruno with the Strike right up against the boot of... I keep nearly saying Peter Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel, I should say. I probably have called him Peter Schmeichel and just didn't realise, to be honest with you, at some stage. But here, United come again. Bruno. Good block. Oh, Schmeichel with another save. They're really putting the pressure on us now, United. They get another corner. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Ferreira gets rid of it. Oh, Schuler's done well there. He's got JJ in support. Oh, JJ looked to go out wide, but a good tackle by Dallo. Here's Anthony. Another goal scorer today. Bruno, another corner. We sold most of the good players and brought average players. We still have Brannigan. We sacked a very good League One manager in Robinson. Yeah, no, that's not great to hear. Oh my God, Martinez nearly scoring there. Yeah, and like the margins are so fine as well in the lower leagues. You think, as you know, they can be in the Premier League, but I just think with the lower leagues as well, because obviously the teams don't have as much money to spend as the Premier League teams do. So obviously, I think it just means that margin for error is just so much more. You know, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but I think you get what I mean. It's just like. It's just like it takes so it's so hard to get promoted to the Premier League, and that, you know, when you're struggling in League One, I think it's just, you know, it just seems like such a big gap to get to where you want to be. Like, that's what's crazy when you look at Wrexham. Like, you know, it's just mad that like Ryan Reynolds and I always forget the other guy's name. I feel really bad, but like it's just the fact that these two famous Hollywood actors, and I know Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, but you know what I mean, like these two North American superstars just took over this Welsh club in the National League. Oh, what a goal by Morata. United 1-0 up, which I can't believe I'm saying with a disappointed voice, but in this career mode, that's not what we want. We want Cloyne United to be 1-0 up. We've always been a top half or playoff contender, but this is the first time as an Oxford fan I'm seeing us fight to stay in the league. Yeah, the wheel always turns, as they say. It's crazy. And that's another thing about the lower leagues. Like, I don't think I've ever seen divisions. Like, you don't see it as much in the top leagues. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. Alex! Oh, brilliant equaliser by Alex. Now we go up the other end and score straight away. 1-1. Lovely finish by Alex. Absolutely brilliant. But we see it a lot in the lower leagues where, you know, a team could be fighting for promotion in one season and then, you know, have an absolutely shocking season and, you know, nearly get relegated or eventually do get relegated the following season. Like, it's crazy how it can happen. It just seems to happen so quickly. But we do get an equaliser here. Two minutes of added time. Here's Rashford. Oh, good block by Back. Bruno. United are going to get another chance here. Morata. Oh, I don't fucking believe that. I don't fucking believe that. Morata, who I would be so annoyed if United signed, because he's had one of the weirdest careers I've ever seen, Alvaro Morata. And we were linked to them a few years ago as well before we got Lukaku. But we do go in 2-1 down at half time. The League One race for the title is absolutely insane. Twists and turns, and it's so close. Yeah, no, the lower leagues can be quite entertaining, especially, as I say, normally at this stage of the season I would be looking, you know, to see what's going on in the lower leagues, but I just haven't really paid attention to it, to be honest. I think it's just because United, you know, this time around we've actually had so much to play for. Obviously, I was only thinking about, like, this time last year with United, we'd been knocked out of all the cup competitions. We knew we weren't going to win a trophy. We were still in the mix for top four, but it was looking more and more unlikely. It was just such a bleak time. It really, really was. Oh, good block. Get there, Schmeichel. Good man. It was such a bleak time this time last year. I suppose everything else was just a bit of a distraction. But this time round, oh my god. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's such a jammy goal to concede. I don't even want to watch the replay of that. So irritating. But anyways, yeah, I just haven't really paid attention to it too much. But like, isn't it crazy? And obviously this is because of the World Cup. You know, the season started so much earlier. But don't the Brightford, apparently, the Brighton and Brentford games, don't they just feel like, and even the Liverpool game where we won 2-1. Oh, okay, do you know what? Jump to result. Alex ends up getting another one. That was going to be a massacre. That was absolutely going to be a massacre. I'm sorry, no. We'll lose. We'll take the L, but I was not letting that get any worse than it needed to be. That was ridiculous. Right. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Chavez isn't happy with the lack of game time. We will play him in the next game. 5 points separate 4 teams and only 2 can go up automatically. Ooh, that does sound interesting, to be fair. That does sound interesting. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm going to put Kent on the bench, because I feel like he should probably play a bit more. Fernandez isn't happy. And Back hasn't... I didn't mean to get out of that. Back hasn't been playing too well. We didn't play too well against United, so we'll put Fernandez there. Chavez, yeah, we'll play him this time around. Afif, however you say his name, will start him. And everything else can stay the same against Chelsea in the League Cup. But yeah, no, it's just crazy. Like, August feels like it was so long ago now. Like, those first few games, like that, they don't feel like they happened this season, you know. And as I say, I know that's because of the World Cup and stuff, but it's just been a mad season. You just think of the amount of games that a lot of players have had to play this year. I give up. I fucking give up on this fucking game. I'm convinced, lads. I'm nearly willing to say we will not keep a single clean sheet in this fucking career mode. I'd nearly put money on it. World Cup feels like it was ages ago. Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, in a way it does, I suppose. The World Cup, it went by so quickly when it actually, you know, was on. Oh, good interception. But to be honest, I couldn't get in. The final was one of the best games I've ever seen. Like, it was brilliant. But I just couldn't get into the World Cup. I just really couldn't. The Winter World Cup, it was just such a bizarre time. And obviously, listen, you know, Ireland weren't in it. Not that, like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and claim I'm the biggest international football fan, but I do always love when Ireland are in international tournaments. But we weren't in the World Cup, so it was kind of, you know, it was a shame. 2016 was the last time we were in a tournament. Euro 2016, where we did quite well. Got to the last 16. And got knocked out by the eventual runners-up in France. We only lost 2-1 as well. Obviously, we had a red card. So, you know, we held our own that day. We could hold our heads up high afterwards, but yeah, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when the next time Ireland will be. We were developing a bit of a decent team at the moment, Ireland, but I'm not too sure when the next time we'll be in a major tournament. Hopefully the Euros. Hopefully Ireland can make the Euros. Oh my God. Ireland have been in one World Cup in my lifetime. That'll tell you how little I've seen Ireland perform in tournaments. Yeah, we've won the Euros in 2012 and the Euros in 2016. Didn't qualify for the World Cup in 2006. Didn't qualify for it in 2010, even though we were robbed. Obviously, that was the Henry handball. That's the closest we've come. Didn't qualify for the World Cup in 2014 or 2018, or the most recent one. And obviously, we weren't in Euro 2020 either. So it's a shame that on the place when Ireland were in a tournament. Like, whether you're a football fan or not, I think everyone can get into it. So it's a shame that we haven't been able to do it. Like, I'll never forget the day we beat Italy in the Euros in 2016. That was my last day of school ever, was that day. I'd finished my Leaving Cert, which is the Irish equivalent of the GCSEs. I did my last exam that day, and Ireland then went on to beat Italy. It was a great day. It really was. Actually, it was a really good memory that I have. Excuse me. That's probably my favourite tournament, Euro 2016 or Euro 2022, for the England women's brought football home. I remember the Women's World Cup, I think was 2019. I remember because I used to go out in the pub quite a lot back then. And I remember the Women's World Cup was always on when I went out. And we actually did quite enjoy it when I was going out and watching the games. But I'm not going to sit here and claim that I watch a lot of women's football. I to be honest with you, I don't. But I do remember enjoying any game I watched in that World Cup. Oh my god. But yeah, hopefully Ireland can qualify for a tournament soon. Just for the buzz. Good save by Schmeichel. God, it's not been a thrilling game, this one. Oh my god, I feel like we lose the ball so much. I feel like every time I play FIFA this year, I lose the ball a ridiculous amount of times. It's absolutely... Oh, it's going to be 2-0. Thankfully it was Aubameyang, who doesn't exactly have the best left foot in the world. Nah, tried to be too clever. That's half time. 1-0 down against Chelsea. Could we be crashing out of the League Cup? Let's see if we can turn it around. Always remember the Cruyff turn by Robson Kanu against Belgium. Robson Kanu, boy. What a player. Speaking of Belgium, that was the only game actually of Euro 2016 that Ireland got absolutely battered in the group stage. We played Sweden in the first game, we drew 1-1. We played Belgium in the second game and got whacked 3-0. Then we beat Italy in the last game to qualify for the last 16, 1-0. Now Italy did play their reserves, but still, Ireland beating Italy's reserves is a big result, especially in 2016. And then it was France we played in the last 16 and we got knocked out 2-1. But we held our own. Oh god. Aubameyang nearly scoring with his left foot again. Just moments after I criticise him. Well, but he's coming off now for Felix. Or Felix, apparently is how you pronounce it. Oh, good block. Gallardo will keep that in. Excuse me. Oh, unlucky. Sterling's in here. Wales and the two Ireland sides to their country proud, while England was awful and got beat by the Icelandic clap. I'll never forget that game. Iceland beating England 2-1. It was crazy. I remember Rashford coming on for like the last few minutes and somehow being England's best player. But yeah, Wales obviously got very far in that tournament. Northern Ireland actually did quite well too. Still annoys me. Oh, still annoys me that Ireland have one team in every sport except for football. We've got one rugby team. We've got one cricket team, even though I don't watch cricket, but there's only one Irish cricket team. You know, pretty much every fighter, whether they were born in the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland, they represent Ireland as opposed to Northern Ireland. But then in football, we're still fucking separated, which is really annoying. Good ball. Turl, can we equalise? Yes, we can! Turl, can't even speak English. Turl with the strike. JJ follows up. The Poacher Supreme, 1-1 with 25 minutes to go. Get in there. Mendy making a good save from my initial strike. But JJ with the finish. Any reasons for that? It's a very long story, JJ, to be honest with you, why Ireland and Northern Ireland are separated in football. But I'll try and shorten it for you. There's a great documentary about it, actually. I can't remember what the YouTube channel is, but if you just Google or just put it into YouTube, it'll come up. But just to explain it briefly. So the Northern Ireland Football Association is called the IFA, the Irish Football Association. And the reason it's not called the Northern Irish Football Association is because that used to be the whole of Ireland. The whole of Ireland used to be... Oh, crap! Fuck's sake! I'm going to blame Northern Ireland for that goal because I got talking about them and then we conceded. Oh, my God. Right, let's just skip it. Come on, let's just skip and get on with it. But Ireland's first football association, the headquarters were in Belfast, which, of course, is in Northern Ireland. And eventually, obviously, Ireland would split into two, the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. But in the footballing sense, they were still under one union, but the headquarters were still in Belfast. And eventually, the Irish Free State made a football team, which is what we now know as the Republic of Ireland, with the headquarters being in Dublin. So the Northern Ireland has the IFA, the Irish Football Association, and the Republic of Ireland has the FAI, or the Football Association of Ireland, even though now there's a bit of a split there. That's why Ireland have just gotten a new crest, because we're kind of splitting away from the whole FAI, but that's another story in itself. But that's why, because obviously Ireland and Northern Ireland, there's a history of conflict there, and that's why the two teams are still separated in football. Like, there's still a lot of animosity there, whereas like with rugby, I think the rugby international team is younger than the football team, so that's just always been under one, because that started in Dublin, which is obviously in the Republic of Ireland, and it was always a case of, it was for all 32 counties, not just the 26 in the Republic. So yeah, so it's a very interesting history. But yeah, it's annoying because Northern Ireland have had some great players over the years that we would have loved to have in the Republic. Obviously, George Best being the main example. Even players like Johnny Evans in recent times, he would have been a good defender for Ireland to have. David Healy, the striker for Northern Ireland. Like, there's a couple of players who I think really could have been great. Will Grigg, yeah. Remember that sensation, Will Grigg. But yeah, that's kind of the whole story in a nutshell. It's quite a complicated story though. Like, if you watch the documentary about it. And we're out of the League Cup. We're out of the League Cup. Let's just jump to result. Fuck's sake. I didn't even make a whole sub in the bloody game. Out of the League Cup. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. Right, I want to end this with a win though, so we're going to keep going. Right, we've got Brighton up next, which won't be easy. Let's see what games we have left. Brighton, Everton. Okay, let's try and get the result against Brighton. But yeah, so that's kind of it about Ireland and Northern Ireland. Very, very bizarre history when you really look into it. Matt Hummels was very intimidated by Grigg. Will Grigg was a good player, in fairness to him. He was. Matt Hummels, his defence was terrified because Will Grigg was on fire. If you know, you know. Obviously, James McLean, he's someone who gets a lot of stick for... very interesting. I'll look at when I have time on YouTube. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. It's very, very interesting, and it's mad that like a lot of people, like if you go around the world, a lot of people don't realise that Ireland is split in two. A lot of people don't realise it's actually, because most people think Ireland is in the UK. Like if you go to America, it's staggering the amount of people that think Ireland is part of the UK, as in like the whole island, but they don't realise that the majority of the island is an independent state. But as I was saying, James McLean, he's someone like, he's actually from Northern Ireland. He's from Derry, but he opted to play for the Republic There's a few players who've done that who are from the north. Like, players who are from Northern Ireland have the option to play for the Republic. Because, you know, they are still... Oh, get in there, JJ. 1-0. Brilliant. Because they are still from Ireland. So they're not... like, if you're from Northern Ireland, you can play for the Republic if you want to. Brilliant run there by Ferreira. And JJ with the finish. 1-0. Not only would I love to win this game, I'd love to keep a clean sheet. I'd absolutely love to keep a clean sheet in this game. Let's try and not concede now straight away. English Van Nistelrooy at it again. Indeed. Indeed. What a player. I made him look like Van Nistelrooy for a reason. I was just watching... Oh my god, that hit the bar. We got away at one there. I was watching loads of videos of Ruud Van Nistelrooy after he was on the overlap with Gary Neville. Because Van Nistelrooy, he was one of my favourite players growing up. And here he is again, the English Van Nistelrooy. Oh, and he's done it again. 2-0. Oh, fantastic. You love to see it. Brighton, who are nowhere near as good in FIFA as they are in real life. And we're putting them to the sword here. 2-0 up. I already said Van Nistelrooy with both. JJ with both. Of course, he is the English Van Nistelrooy. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Joe Turrell delighted as well. Fantastic. Oof, Brighton nearly got one back though. Hits the side netting. But yeah, as I was saying there, like, it is staggering the amount of people who think... I've actually spoken to people from England, right? And this is no offence to England, but I've spoken to people from England who think Ireland is in the UK. Because I remember one guy, it was in a football like discussion thread on Facebook, and he was on about like the best British players of all time. And he put Roy Keane in there. Now, not only is Roy Keane from Ireland, Roy Keane is from Cork, which is where I'm from. And I'm not British. And I remember responding to him going, Roy Keane's not British, lad. I remember then he responded trying to be all cool. He was like, oh, Ireland is in the UK, lad. And I was like, no it's not, lad. Get a fucking map out and you'll clearly see that the Republic of Ireland is not in the UK. Nothing against the UK. Obviously there is a history there and whatnot, but like, you know, I'm not obviously holding that against the people in the UK today. But it's just, it's the fact that some people in a region don't know, especially the UK. Like, it's not like it's overly complicated. It's three countries in one state. The countries obviously being England, Scotland and Wales, and then they have the 6 counties in Northern Ireland. It's like, it's not overly complicated, you know? And then some people still don't realise that they don't have the whole of Ireland. They don't even have the whole of Ulster. Like, that's the thing people don't realise. Obviously, the 6 counties in Northern Ireland are part of the province known as Ulster, but Donegal is also in Ulster, and Donegal is part of the Republic. But anyways, that's the history lesson for today, I suppose. Right, can we get a third here? Oh, Ferreira went to cut it back. Ferreira has the exact same run as Raheem Sterling. And it's kind of funny. Half an hour in here. We're 2-0 up. Oh, that's a good ball. Our defence has been split wide open there. Schmeichel gets the touch, and Gallardo now can run away with it. History lesson while playing FIFA. Good education while watching kids. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. It's so funny, like, because like it just reminds me of like when I was in school, and like I used to fucking love history. Like I got an A in my leaving cert in history, so little humble brag there. But my God, I used to love history in school. It was the one subject I would actually quite look forward to. Oh my God, I did not mean that. Got away with it there. It was the one subject in school I would always look forward to. And when I was in 5th year, which is the second last year of school in Ireland, that's when we learned a lot about Irish history. And it was so fascinating. So fascinating. But then it's funny because like I do jiu-jitsu, as I've spoken about a few times, and one of the blue belts in there, Katie, she's a maths and science teacher, and oh my God, I cannot describe to you how bad I was at maths, and I didn't even do science for my leaving cert. I did it in the junior cert, but not in the leaving cert. I was so bad at it. I did the lowest level of maths possible for my leaving cert, and I still like passed by the skin of my teeth. I got the lowest possible result while still passing, which is still a pass, and that's all I needed. But I was absolutely abysmal at maths. But I loved history. I actually did so we had to do a history project at the end of the school cycle, and it had to be, you had to do it on a specific historic timeline or event, and there has to be a key person that you looked at in the project. And oh crap, good save, brilliant save. And I did mine on the 1980s wrestling boom, and the person of interest that I used was Hulk Hogan. I wanted to do the Monday Night Wars. I really wanted to do that, but we couldn't go past 1992, so I went with the 1980s wrestling boom instead, which was a lot of fun. Oh, Brighton are in here. Good interception. And can we hit them on the break now? Is Ferreira wins the throw-in. I'm actually going to bring on Chavez again, because I don't want him to be too unhappy. I think I'm actually going to swap him with Turl as well. I'm not just determined to get this win. As I said, I fucking desperately want this clean sheet. We haven't kept one all season in any competition, and this would be a great time to start. A great way to finish the episode as well. Excuse me. Oh, brilliant tackle by Calabria. Thought that was going to be a foul there. There's Schmeichel. Oh my God. That was a rugby clearance if I've ever seen one. Listen, he was a cheap option, Schmeichel. He's not been amazing, but he's not been awful. He's made some good saves, but he's definitely had his moments. I might give the other keeper a game at some stage. I know he's only 75 rated, but looking back, I probably could have played him one or two of the League Cup games. But look, what's done is done. Maybe when we get to the FA Cup, I can throw him in. And we don't get the clean sheet. I fucking knew it. I tried to stay quiet there. Danny Welbeck, formerly of Manchester United, pulls one back for Brighton. 2-1. Anyways, I'm watching the Monday Night Wars. 97 is the most fascinating year, just watching the products for the first time. Yeah, I know it is a fascinating time to go back, to go and look back on and watch. Oh, they're taking off Welbeck now. Weird. But yeah, no, I would have loved, honestly, for that project, I would have loved to have, the 1980s wrestling boom was great. Like, I got to talk about the first WrestleMania and WrestleMania 3 and, Hogan body slamming Andre and all that great stuff. But I would have loved to have talked about the Monday Night Wars and, WCW and, the battle for ratings. And there would have been so much, even, stuff like the tragedy of Owen Hart. Like, there would have been so many interesting things to talk about. But, this was back in 2016, and they said the farthest we could go up was 1992, which was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, look, it's done now. I'm sure that, well, I'd say by now they've... Oh, great ball! Oh, brilliant by JJ! That's his hat-trick. It's 3-1. And surely now 3 points. We can't keep the clean sheet, unfortunately, but I'm happy to get the win. JJ, the English Van Nistelrooy, he's in brilliant form at the moment. Turl gets the assist as well. I'll happily take that. Sanchez couldn't keep it out. He is a keeper I'm looking at for the future as well, Robert Sanchez. Hat-trick hero indeed. Well, I tell you what, Van Nistelrooy, he was no stranger to a hat-trick. He scored a fair few in his time, and JJ is no different, and I'm sure there'll be many more where that came from. I don't think that's your first one. I think you've scored a few others, as far as I remember. Or at least one other. But absolutely fantastic from JJ. O'Brightener again here, though. Good save by Schmeichel. Right, 13 minutes left. Might make some more changes. JJ, you've done a great job. I want you to get the reception you deserve. We'll give Evan Ferguson a game against his old club. Afif, or Afif, however you say it. He can come on as well. Porrick can actually play left back. I'm going to do that. Porrick can go left back, and we're going to bring on Fernandez as a centre back. Freshen up the team a small bit. Canadian Stampede main event was so awesome, and all I could think about when the Hart Foundation and family was getting a send-off at the end of the show, and how that family is going to come crashing down. Yeah, the Montreal screw job, Jesus Christ, how did I fucking not mention that? That would have been a very interesting thing to talk about as well in the project. Oh man, it is such a fascinating time to look back on in wrestling. It really is. That's a great pay-per-view as well, Canadian Stampede, and obviously it's remembered for the main event, but from top to bottom, that is a great show. I didn't see that show at all for the first time I saw that show was when I got the WWE Network. Eight minutes to go here against Brighton. 3-1 up. Let's see if we can get another one. Can Evan Ferguson score against his old team? I think he might be offside. Oh, he's onside. He might have an assist. Oh, yes, he does. Chavez makes it 4. Oh, this is brilliant. Well, look, no clean sheet, but we're getting a big result. A very big result, which is great to see, because, boy, have we been put to the sword enough times ourselves this season. We'll bring on Madsen as well. Chavez, who wants to play more. Well, he's actually done quite well since coming on here. So he's given us something to think about. It's his weak foot as well, underneath the legs of Robert Sanchez. Rolls in to that bottom left-hand corner. Or right-hand corner, I suppose, if you're Sanchez. And it's 4-1 here. Calabria can come off for the final 5 minutes or so. The Fatal 4-Way main event... with Brett, Vader, Austin and Taker, the hard camera was shaking harder than Kevin Dunn's current production tactics. No, it's a very good show, to be fair. I tell you what, lads, I am fit for fucking bed. I cannot wait to go to sleep. Just sometimes the tiredness just hits you out of nowhere. It's really just hit me right there. And honest to God, if you saw me during the week, last week, lads, oh my God, it was crazy. I remember coming home Wednesday, and I put on the Chelsea and Real Madrid game, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to lie down while I watch this game, and I just nodded off like 5-10 minutes into the game, and I woke up and it was 3 in the morning. I'd slept completely through it. I was just so tired. It was crazy. But that should be it for this game. Yes, it is. A 4-1 win against Brighton and Hove Albion. A brilliant result. We badly needed it. JJ, the English Van Nistelrooy, takes the ball home. 3 attempts, 3 goals. 100% conversion rate from our main man today. You love to see it. You love to see that. No clean sheet, but making up for it with a big result. I'm going to do a post-match interview after that as well. I think that performance deserves it. I'm staying up. I'll be watching the Impact pay-per-view Rebellion. Sadly, both knockouts and world title is vacant due to injuries. Yeah, I saw Mickey James had to relinquish her title. Excuse me, which is a shame. Now, listen, I haven't watched Impact in a very long time. But, no, that is a shame, alright, that she had to relinquish. Thanks, but hopefully it's a good show for you. Hopefully it is. Polinia, perfect. And the board are upset about something, but I don't know what it is. Right, let's have a look at the standings. So, we have still conceded a ridiculous amount of goals with 31, but we've also scored 19, so we're starting to climb up the ladder a bit that way. 4 wins to our name now, 1 draw, 5 defeats. But at least the teams we've lost to have been decent. You know, United, Liverpool, City, even though United aren't doing too well in this for some reason. You know, who else do we lose to? United, Liverpool, City, Brentford, and Leeds. Okay, Leeds maybe not so much, even though in this they seem to be doing quite well, placed in 7th. Tottenham are top of the league though at the moment. Obviously we're out of the League Cup, but you know, whatever. This season I think it's all about, you know, how far we can go up in the league. Let's have a look at some of the stats. So Schmeichel, Gallardo, Polinia, Turl and Colin have played every game. Schuler and JJ have played 12, and it's pretty spread out then amongst everyone else. JJ, though, the top scorer, 10 goals and 12 appearances, which is really, really good considering we haven't had the best, you know, the most amazing start of the season. 2-2 in the League Cup, 8-10 in the league, 4 assists. Alex, 3 goals and 1 assist. I've got 2-1. Schuler has 2-2. Ferguson, 2 goals and 1 assist. Kushida could be the world champion, which excites me. That could be quite cool. Grace versus Diana. Ultimate X tag match and X Division 3-way. Big matches are going to be very good. Well, that's good to hear. No, it's good to hear Impact is doing quite well. As I say, I haven't watched it for quite a while, but I know they do have a bit of a loyal audience. So yeah, it's good to hear. Very good to hear. I do want to start giving Kent a few more games, but he's just so bloody low rated. But I do need to start playing him more because he is a future star. Right, let's go up to the next game against Everton and we'll leave it here. We've got a youth squad report as well. Let's just have a look here. Riley is still converting. Just making sure everyone's on a development plan. Is there anyone not looking great? This Janssen guy. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. Probably release him. Riley's actually John. He's actually after going down a little bit, so we'll get rid of him. Kennedy looks okay. Everyone else is looking pretty decent. This Gormley guy, fucking hell, he could be really, really good. But, yeah. Right. Let's go up to this Everton game. Brilliant. So, thanks for another stream. When are you thinking of streaming next? Well, first of all, thank you, JJ. It's been great to have you again. I think I was saying just before you came on, I legit, like, I'm not even going to bother putting together a schedule for this because, as, you know, we saw this past week, anything can happen with the schedule I have at the moment, lads. Just outside of, you know, streaming and stuff, it's absolutely hectic. So I'll do my best to be on here tomorrow, but if not, it'll be Tuesday. So that's all I can say is that it'll be either tomorrow or Tuesday. But you know, it really just depends on how things line up. But I promise it won't be 6 days like it was this time round. But yeah, we will definitely have one within the next few days. But until then, I hope you all have a good one. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and I will talk to you